Okay guys, I am back for another recipe. Today I am making a lasagna, so it's time for that to happen this time of year. So um, I'm going to run down the ingredients for you guys like I do all the time. Over here I got some lasagna noodles. They're not cooked. They do have to be dropped in boiling water. Over here I got some ricotta cheese. I'll let you guys know how much is actually in here. All right, over here I've got some meatballs and sausage that I made. This may be a little bit different from the recipes, maybe on how some people put this together, but this is the way I've always made it. So we're going to continue to do the same thing. Over here I have some sauce that I made as well. You can catch the video for this, for the sauce, if you want the recipe. I'll try to put a link in the description down below. So if you want the recipe for the sauce and the meatballs and the sausage, I'll leave that link. If not, you can just go to my Facebook page. It's there. It's under I believe it's titled Sauce and Meatballs, and that's the recipe for these two things. Okay. Over here we got some Parmesan Reggiano. Over here we got some pecorino Romano over here. And we have a little bit of chopped fresh parsley over here. And over here we have 2 pounds of mozzarella sliced. I bought it in the 1 pound block and I sliced it up this morning. Okay, so that's it for this recipe. 4 cheeses, meatballs, sausage, and noodles. That's lasagna, right? Stay tuned. We're gonna make this. We're gonna drop this pasta behind me. And as soon as this pasta is done, I'm going to bring you guys back and I'm going to show you how that I assemble it. You assemble it, you know, how you guys want it. I know a lot of people use ground beef for this. I don't do that. You know, it's just one of those things. It's how I've made this for years. So I believe in actually making meatballs and then using the meatballs for my meat. It gives it a lot more flavor. You know, that's just how I do it. Okay, so stay tuned, guys. I'm going to drop this pasta. I do put a little olive oil in the pot of water. You won't hear me say that hardly ever. But for lasagna noodles, I do that because they really have a tendency of sticking, and I want to make sure that these cook nice and even, okay? So we're going to drop these 8 minutes. I'll be back. We're going to undercook these a little bit because obviously this has to go in the oven at 375 for maybe close to 2 hours. The size lasagna that you're going to watch me build here is going in a pan 13 by 20, okay? It's the biggest pan that I can find, and I always make it in this size pan because I freeze this. Okay, let me get going with this. If you guys like this video, you like my channel, you like this stuff that I do here, put a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Some more subscribers would be great. And share the video if you know anybody who might want to make a lasagna like this. All right, so I will be back as soon as the pasta is done. So we now have the pasta cooked, okay? I did 27 noodles of lasagna noodles, okay? So it's going to be 3 rows of 9. Like I said, it's going in a really big pan, so it's going in a 13 by 20 pan. So I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to bring in the pan. So I apologize off the bat because my camera's going to go a little crazy here because it doesn't like the aluminum color. Okay, so I'm going to try to put the first row of noodles down really quick. Okay, so this is the size pan that I use for this dish. Okay, I've always used this size pan. I freeze this as well. Okay, all right, so and it freezes very well. Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't freeze well, because it does. And you can, if you freeze this right, you can freeze this, you can really freeze this up to like 9 months or better. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I have all my ingredients off here. I got sauce over here, meatballs, I got the noodles, all my cheeses are on this side. I'm ready to build this thing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple spoonfuls of sauce in the bottom of the pan, just like this. This is just so it doesn't stick. That's all. I just do that. Right? Very simple. No big deal. All right, just like that. Okay, so now let's get going. We'll build this thing. The hardest thing to do if you make it like this, lasagna is not actually hard. It's just time consuming. There we go. Camera lightened up. Beautiful. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do five rows over here. I am going to keep you guys with me while I make this, just because this way you guys can see how I do it, basically. That's what it's all about, right? I guess that's why I do this, to show you guys. Okay, so we're doing 5 across like this, and then we're going to do 4 across like this, right? And this will take up 3 rows. This will take up all 27 noodles. And you can make a couple extra if you want to, in case you get a couple of cracked ones or whatever. Okay, so that's the start of it. Okay, so the reason why I feel that this lasagna is just really, really awesome lasagna, and I'm not saying that because I make this, but people have told me that, so I kind of go with that, and I don't change much on this. The reason why this is so good is because I let my sauce cook down for like 10 hours. I fry my meatballs in olive oil. The ingredients that I put and how much of ingredients that I put in my meatballs, that's what makes this meal, okay? Good quality cheeses, good mozzarella, good pecorino Romano, and I'm always grating cheese by myself, right? I don't buy it pre-packaged in a tub. So you get that real fresh taste of every ingredient, okay? All right, so here we go. This is, we're gonna get a little bit messy here. I don't mind, you know, it is what it is, okay? So we're using meatballs, right? Just like this for our, instead of using like ground beef or whatever, this is what we do. This is what I do, okay? Just like that. And remember, you got 2 layers of this, so you don't have to be really spot on with a lot of this. You know, you don't need coverage every single place. So I do this with sauce. I'm sorry, I do this with the meatballs, and I do it with sausage on each layer, okay? So there we go. Put one more. It's a little light over here. And this is all by eye, right? I forgot how many meatballs that is. And if you see a piece of a bay leaf or basil or something like that, and then you just take it out. Okay, so that's it. Now we're just going to break up a little bit of sausage, just like that. And I got a mixture of hot and sweet in here. And you don't have to put a whole bunch of sausage in, a little bit. You know, probably 3-4 links on each layer, just to break up the meatball, and gives it, you know, gives it a little bit more taste. Yeah, that's what it does. Okay, so there's our first layer. So we try to get a good coverage there. Okay, hold on one second. Just let me spin around. I washed my hands real quick. Okay. So now what I do is I come through with, next I add some ricotta, okay? Just like this. Now we're not going to put a ton of it, but we are going to put a little bit because I do like ricotta in my thing. Now, listen, this is going to get all over the place now at this point, right? You don't have to worry about like being super neat with it because it's just not going to happen. All right, so I use an offset spatula here, just like this. I've never found one way when you put the ricotta in on the meat that there's a way to, you know, have it perfect all the time. It's not going to happen. Okay, so just like this. Quick, simple, right? Another dab over here. Okay, so you guys get where I'm going with this, right? And we'll throw another little dab over here. See what we get. Another little dab. So you're going for like a thin layer. Now, if you like a lot of, if you like a lot of ricotta, then put a lot of ricotta, right? Nobody can tell you how to make your lasagna just like that. Okay? Just like that. Beautiful. Okay. Next comes the Romano. A little bit of pecorino Romano there. And then we're going to go for the parmesan. Just like that. Okay. And now here is where I put a few dabs of sauce, right? Just now you got to remember, you don't want this too wet, because when you bake it, you don't want to cut into this and have it be all crazy, right? So just a little bit of sauce like this, just like that. Yep. Like this. Another little dab there. Okay. Good. Beautiful, right? Okay. Next we're gonna put our mozzarella, just like this. Like I said, I cut this by hand this morning. Like I said, you don't have to get crazy and perfect with this, because you're gonna have another layer on top, right? Just like this. And like I said, this is the easy part, because when you, there, see? Look at that, nice, right? Okay. And we'll put one here, and we throw 3 down the center, right? Just like that. Okay, so that's our first layer. We're gonna keep building this. All right, we're gonna go another layer, right? I know a lot of people do the top different. Some people put mozzarella cheese on it, other people don't. Other people leave it blank, just noodles, to get the noodles crispy. You like I say, make it, you make it how you make it. All right, this is how I like it, and this is how I've always made it. Okay, so we're going to repeat these steps at this point, right? Okay, so we're going to skip the sauce though, because we just put some sauce on the inside. So we're going to skip the sauce for right now, and we're going to put it on after. I almost want to start singing, but I won't, because nobody will watch any more of my videos if I start singing, right? Okay. And if you watch the meatball video, you'll see how these meatballs stay so moist. It's the bread, right? It's soaking the bread in water and then using that, so you're not getting dry meatballs. All your meatballs are nice and moist. Just like that. Very simple. All right, somewhat even, right? Just like this. There's got to be at least one person out there watching this right now that is saying that they're hungry. Which I'm hungry, actually. Okay, on to the sausage, right? We're doing sausage now. So meatball sausage, doesn't matter, sweet, hot, whatever you like. just like that. And I guarantee you that when you cut this open later on, well, it's very important too to not, when this comes out of the oven, don't slice right into this, because this is gonna, one, it's gonna be like really hot, and then two, if you cut into this and try to pull a piece out of this, I can guarantee you that you're never gonna get a full piece out. It's gonna come out in like, well, it's gonna come out like mush maybe. So you have to let this sit. Just let it sit. Don't be in a rush. All right, look. Okay, there. All right, that's it. That's how we do it. Rinse the hands again. Okay, and on to the next layer, which is we're gonna do it the same exact way, right? We're just gonna dabs all along just to fill in. Oh, you can also I forgot to tell you guys, I mean, if you want to do your ricotta and you want to mix that with a little sauce, right, before you do this, right, before you put it in, you can. Nothing wrong with that. It'll loosen it up a little bit. It won't be so stiff. Depends on what kind of ricotta that you bought. So you can do that. Another little, I guess, a little tip there for you. Okay. All right. I guess you get old in your age here, and you get so set in your ways that you just continue to do it the same exact way you've been doing it for years, and you really don't think sometimes. You really don't think sometimes that. There we go. Of changing those ways, right? I mean, I usually don't when I'm cooking these kind of foods, because this is, a lot of these recipes are, you know, from like watching my grandparents and stuff like that, right? So we try to keep that memory alive. I don't know how many people in my family are still cooking as far as like my grandparents, because, you know, everybody's getting older, life is busy, right? Okay, one more little bit here. Beautiful. This is gorgeous. Look at this. All right, just like this, almost like you're sheetrocking, right? That's it, done. This is all done. Okay, now onto, once again, onto the pecorino Romano, like that. We're going to turn around and put some Parmesan cheese on it, like that. All right. Okay. Now we're going to put the sauce this way, this time, right? We're going to put it on now, a little bit like this. Okay, and now we're going to take our offset, and we're just going to spread it out. Give it a nice little, there you go, nice little even coat. Yep, just like that. Okay, a little bit more sauce, like this. Okay. Sometimes it's easier doing this with an offset spatula like I'm using here, because sometimes the back of a spoon might be a little too much as far as trying to get it even like this. Okay, so there we go, right? Beautiful. All right, now we're gonna do more mozzarella. Can you feel yourselves getting fatter? Yeah, right? Yeah, I get it. All right, but I'm telling you, you follow this recipe, and it's gonna be an awesome lasagna. truly. And the biggest thing here is making the sauce and meatballs. You watch that video, you'll understand once you watch the video. It's pretty time consuming in length as well. Okay, so we're just gonna throw 3 down the center, bada bing. Right, that's it. That's our lasagna. And we're gonna put put the lid on it, right? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the lid on it, just like this. Yes, sir. Almost done. Almost done. Like this. If you got a little water on your noodles, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's just a little bit of moisture that the lasagna is gonna kind of soak up. So, not a big deal. Okay, hold on one second. I gotta grab a little sauce here. Okay, a little bit of sauce. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to throw a little here like this. This doesn't have to be perfect either. That's a good thing about this. You don't even have to, like, it doesn't have to be anywhere near being perfect. You just have to basically get it on there, right? And I'm going to go back to my offset just to spread this around a little bit, just like this. Just want a little color on the top so it's not naked, right? Just like that. Okay, see how easy? And I kept that running. That's no editing, no nothing. That's just straight building this lasagna after your sauce and meatballs are done. That's it. That's it. We're done. Okay, so last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna do this. Yep, just like that. A little of that. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take some, let's see, what do we got here? We're just going to take some mozzarella. We're going to go a little further apart now with this, just to get a little cheese on top. And then this, my friends, is going in the oven. That's for the cook. We're going to throw that over there. Okay, I'm not going to wrap this in aluminum foil to show you guys because you already know what my camera's going to wind up doing. Okay, so this is how I make my lasagna. We're going to wrap this up 375. You don't have to cook the internal temperature any more than 150 degrees because your mouth will never stand more than 150 degrees without burning it. So if you cook this, remember all the ingredients in here are cooked. If you cook this to 150, 160, plenty hot enough, all the cheeses will be melted inside here, and you're going to be in for one hell of a meal. Okay, I will see you in just a little bit. This is going in the oven for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll see. I'll keep checking temperature, and we'll let you know as soon as this comes out of the oven. Okay, guys, stand with me. This is going to be an absolute phenomenal meal. Okay, I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, guys, so the lasagna has been in the oven at 350 for 2 hours and 15 minutes total time. Okay, it was actually 2 hours covered on 350, and then I took it off, the aluminum foil off for an additional 15 minutes to let the top get like this, melt down, and just all come together. I mean, all kidding aside, look at that. Is that a lasagna or what? Yeah, kind of, right? Okay, as you can see, it's the whole size of the oven. It's literally the whole size of the oven. So I can't lift this and hold cameras by myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out of the oven and I'm going to set it up on the stove, and we're going to let this cool for about I don't know, probably about a half hour or so. And then I'm going to cut into this and I'm going to plate this beautiful dish. Absolutely beautiful dish. Okay, guys, give me about a half hour and then we'll get this plated. All right, guys, this lasagna has now cooled for a little while. So what we're going to do right now, like I do in really all my recipes, is we're gonna start plating this up, and we're gonna see how this looks. Just like that. Okay. All right. Let's cut into this. Let's see what we get. Now again, this baked for 2 hours covered and 15 minutes uncovered. Okay, so that's how. Now if I can get the slice out, then it can be somewhat together. That'll be, oh, there we go. Okay, so look at that. Look at that. Oh boy, how beautiful is that? Okay, we're not gonna do a big thing here with the garnishing. We're gonna keep it really simple on this meal. We're just gonna throw a little bit of Parmesan cheese on it, and then we're just going to take a little basil leaf, and we're gonna just do that, just like that. And that's gonna be it. That's it. This is how I make my lasagna. This will be in the description below. I'll put all the ingredients for this down below. Just click on the description and you can make this. Trust me, not that hard. Is time consuming, but it's not that hard. Okay, so just like that. That is my lasagna. Okay, guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys that watch my videos. I appreciate all my subscribers. If you guys like this video, share it with your friends, put a thumbs up on it, and subscribe to my channel if it's your first time in here. We appreciate you guys too, even if you just stop in for one recipe. Recipe every single week, either posted on a Friday or a Saturday. And I will see you guys next week in the next recipe.